Hello everyone, welcome back to ARN Analytics. My name is Dr. Aniket and I make videos to educate people in programming and data science because I believe in empowering curious minds and simplifying coding journey for all. So guys, in this video I am going to discuss about Python variables. The video will start with an interesting game to understand Python identifiers, which is followed by a real life analogy to learn about Python variables. This video also includes some hands-on session to define the variables. So you will need an application to run your code. The links about how to install Jupyter Notebook and the Replit coding app in your mobile are given in the description. You can use the links to install them. The interesting fact about this video is at the end of this video there is an amazing quiz to test your learnings from this video. So don't skip this video and watch it till the end. So guys, if you have completed an installation of Jupyter Notebook in your laptop or a Replit coding app in your mobile, let's start with the Python identifiers. Python identifiers are nothing but the names given to the various elements in the code, like variables, functions, modules or classes. As the name suggests, Python identifiers are used to uniquely identify and refer these elements in the code. Let's play a game to understand this. You have to identify a jar filled with the cookies from this shelf. That's a tough job, isn't it? Now, let's play the same game with this shelf also. The labels made the task easy, isn't it? The identifiers are similar to the labels on the jar. Labels tells us what is inside the jar. Similarly, identifiers are labels on a piece of information from your code. Let's see why identifiers are important. If you haven't subscribed to the ARN Analytics, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. So guys, the very first thing is that the identifier gives the meaning to the values. Now let's say we have value number 34. This number 34 could mean a lot. This could be an age of the person or the number of students in the class. Suppose we assign an identifier, let's say age is equal to 34 to this value 34. So assigning an identifier like age 34 will give the meaning to the number 34. Now secondly, identifier keeps value accessible. Let's say 34 into 576. You have to use this multiplication several times in your code. Let's perform this multiplication first. Now, instead of performing the multiplication each time, you can assign an identifier to it. Let's say we'll use multiplication equal to 34 into 576 and print multiplication. Now let's run this. So it have same meaning, but it saves a lot of time by referring this identifier in code again and again. The multiplication was simple example. Think of computing this equation several times in a code. This will take a lot of time for development. Now, lastly, the identifier keeps the code readable, maintainable, and efficient. Let's understand this thing with an example. Suppose you started working in a big MNC and offered a salary of $60,000 and you have to calculate a monthly salary, annual bonus by rate of 10%, then net salary after tax deduction and salary after 10 increments. Let's code it. We have to print original salary. Equal to, let's say it's initially $60,000. Now calculate. Now you can copy this thing because we have to use this several times. You paste it. Now what we have to calculate? Monthly salary. So monthly salary will be 60,000 divided by 12. Now again copy this thing and paste it. So what is the next thing? You have to calculate the annual bonus. Annual bonus will be equal to 60,000 star, that is multiplication 0.1, that is 10%. Again control print the net salary. Net salary after deduction will be 60,000 into 0.8, that is 20%. deduction and salary after 10% increment. 10% increment will be 60,000 into 1.1. So this will give all the calculations. So the next time your salary has increased to $66,000. So if you have to calculate all the things again, you have to replace this 60,000 by 66,000 everywhere. Let's suppose I am replacing this thing. Control V, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here, and run it again. So you'll get the salary. But instead of this, what I can do, I can assign an identifier. Let's say salary and equal to 60,000, and I will use this identifier instead of this value. Control V, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here. Now I will run this thing. So it is initially 60,000. Now if it increases to 66,000, you just have to change this value once only, and it will calculate for the next cycle. Again, we'll change it only once, and it will calculate for the next cycle. So using an identifier saves our time while developing the code. So friends, hope you have the clear understanding of Python identifiers now. Let's move to the Python variables. Many of the book authors and internet references claims the memory location in your computer as a Python variables, and use the analogy of containers to explain it. In another explanation, the variable names are claimed as variables. However, we just have understood that the names given to the variables are nothing but the Python identifiers. So what are the Python variables? Let's understand it. So let's go back to your school days to understand this. You may have performed the titration experiment in a chemical laboratory of your school. In this experiment, you add some amount of phenolphthalein indicator to a chemical stored in a beaker. Initially, beaker contains X volume of colorless chemical. As the experiment goes on, the volume and color of the chemical changes. You can use this experiment to understand Python variables. The beaker which stores chemical here is analogous to memory location in your computer which stores the data. The name of the chemical, let's say hydrochloric acid, is analogous to Python identifier. And volume and color of chemical which varies during the experiments are nothing but the Python variables. Guys, one way to quickly learn Python is to improve on your debugging skills. Now we will see some rules to set variable names and errors associated with incorrect variable names. So let's start. Variable names may contain uppercase letters, lowercase letters, digits and underscores. However, including special characters other than underscores are not allowed. Now let's see. If you include this special character in your variable name, it will throw a syntax error. Let's run it. You can see here. Now if you include this AND symbol in your variable name, they will also throw a syntax error. So you cannot include any special character other than underscores in your variable names. Now let's move to the next point. Variable names cannot start with the digits. So let's suppose that I have to use my name in a code and I have to assign a variable name to it. So I'll start, as it is a first name, I'll start with a 1 digit and name equal to, and I will try to run this cell, so it will throw the syntax error. So what you can do, you can start with the alphabet. It may be a lowercase or uppercase. Let's see this thing. You can start with alphabet. Let's say first name equal to, print it, run flawlessly. Now again, what you can do, you can also start variable name with the underscores like this. can run this cell, it will work correctly. So what you can do, you cannot start a variable name with a digit, but you can start it with alphabets and underscores. Now let's move to the next point. Variable names cannot contain spaces. Now let's see this with an example. Now I am using this as a variable name, channel space name, and I am assigning a string here, ARN Analytics. So let's try to run it. It will throw a syntax error. Instead of that, what you can do, you can use mixed case format. So what is mixed case format? If you have multiple words, the first word will include all the lowercase letters like this, channel, and the second word onwards, the word will start with uppercase alphabet. Let's say name, like this, and equal to ARN Analytics. Is it correct? Oh, why is missing? So, and you can print it, copy paste the name, and paste. So this is how you can include or you can use mixed case formats. Now let's move to the next thing. What you can do, you can use underscores as a separators between words. So let's quickly see this thing also. How can use the underscores? Channel underscore name equal to x print so it is working correct. Now let's move to the next point. Variable names cannot contain keywords. So what are the keywords? In Python, keywords are reserved words that have specific meaning and cannot be used as identifier. So what are the example of keywords? If, true, false, as. So these words have specific meanings in the Python. So what are the total keywords? Let's see. You can import keywords. Let's assign a variable name, Python underscore keywords equal to keyword dot. I'm importing this library. So from this library, what we want? KW list. We want keyword list and print Python keywords. So print this thing. So there are total 35 keywords. You can see here. So all these are the keywords, and you cannot use these keywords as your variable names or identifiers. So let's see what happens if you use one of them. Let's say del equal to 35. If you will assign this, it will throw a syntax error, invalid syntax. Now let's move to the next point. You must use descriptive names. Descriptive names are better than meaningless short names, but the variable name should not be too long. So you can see here, the s is equal to 60 is not conveying any meaning, or this is too long variable name. So what you should use, let's see, if you have to assign a value 60 and I am using this seconds is equal to 60. Now seconds is equal to 60 is meaning something. Means the value 60 or number 60 is of seconds. Now I can be more descriptive. Seconds per minute is equal to 60. So now you can see that what is the difference between s is equal to 60, seconds is equal to 60, and seconds per minute is equal to 60. So if you are using descriptive names, it increases the readability of your code. Now let's move to the next point. Variable names are case sensitive. What does this mean? If you define a variable, let's say I'm using this small or lowercase letters tutorial is equal to trying to print, but I'm deliberately making a mistake. So let's try to print it. It will throw error. So it will throw a name error. The name tutorial is not defined. So what does it mean? You have made a mistake here and you can correct it like this and you can print it now. So it is printing correctly. So this is a example of variables are case sensitive. It means that if you are using lowercase letters while you are assigning a variable name, then you have to refer all the way at lowercase letters only. Now, what are the key takeaways? If syntax error is occurring, it's a wrong format. You are assigning a variable name in a wrong format. And if a name error is occurring, then cross-check your variable names you have assigned and your variable name you are referring in a code. So these are some important rules to set the variable names you must follow while assigning variable names to variables in Python. Now, as I promised, it is time to test your learnings. If you want, you can revise the topic once again by doubling the speed of video. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you liked it. If you have any queries, write those in the comment section and let us know which part of video you loved the most. Also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel.